So, Sam, can you maybe explain like why cat goes up as you scale, and in your mind, why are so many people in our ecosystem so oblivious about something so basic and fundamental? Like this isn't like nuanced, like a nuanced insight. This is quite fundamental. But when you go through those comments, a lot of people are just not. They don't get it. Why do you think that is?
Uh, okay, so first let me explain why CAC goes up, and it doesn't only go up, right? When can it go down? Remember that we're comparing, there's this famous phrase, you can have it fast, cheap, and good, pick two, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a corollary here. You can have efficiency improvements. You cannot have, and let me state it again, you cannot have efficiency improvements as you accelerate growth. You cannot, you will not. You will not. Why will you not? Why?
Why?
So the reason why is very simple. What does it mean to grow? What does it mean? It means I'm doing new things, right? I'm doing new things. I'm looking for customers in places that I haven't looked for them before. I'm trying to convince the fifth person because I already convinced the fourth person or the third person, right? Growth by definition, what do companies, what are they, right? They are machines that try to prevent entropy, right? They're entropy reduction machines, right? They try to take chaos, the natural disintegration of the universe, and they try to harness order from it and create predictability. That's what companies do, right? They take all this amorphousness of we don't know what's going to happen, and we try to plug it into a system that spits out an output that is greater than the input, right? Well, the more we try to grow, the more we are searching outwards into places that we haven't looked before. The more we're trying to run a 10K when before all we've done is run a 5K. So it only stands to bear that as we try new things, we've never done a trade show before. Okay, well, this will be the first time that we do a trade show. We've never invested in paid acquisition before. Okay, well, probably the more the first time we do it, there's going to be a bunch of low hanging fruit, and maybe the next time we do it, it's going to be much harder, and all of that low hanging fruit is going to be different and more expensive than the thing that we already know how to do that just isn't working as well as it used to, because all channels also decay, right? So all CAC going up means is we're trying new things and we're not going to be great at them at first. And the old things that we do have a half-life. I don't see why that's so damn complicated, and it's not controversial, right? And so why don't people understand that? The reason they don't understand that is, I think, a failure of metaphorical thinking, if I had to go to the root cause, right? I think people get locked into heuristics and into kind of trite aphorisms, and they don't really think about what it is that they're saying. They say CAC to LTV, but they don't understand what are they actually talking about. That's why I always try to break down, what are the core assumptions of SaaS? That we can spend more than we might normally have to acquire a customer because they're going to stick around. I try to say it in as plain English as possible, because I think sometimes people get lost in the right CAC to LTV, 24-month payback period is perfectly acceptable. And it's like, okay, what are we saying when we say that? We're saying I'm going to spend $1 today and I won't get back that full dollar for 2 years, right? Does that sound reasonable to you? So I think that people are just they're not, they don't read enough books. If I had to distill it down to the simplest thing, they don't listen to enough they're locked into tropes, and they're not locked into thinking about what does this stuff actually mean? What are the foundational principles that we're describing, and how do they relate to human behavior that we should all have a perspective on? So at any rate, and then finally, sure, you can get more efficient. You won't grow as fast, right? Quota Path got a lot more efficient. I got a lot more efficient. Now, I got a lot more efficient. That means for every dollar I spend, I'm making more than I did a year ago. But
Yeah.
I'm not growing as fast because I had 20 salespeople and now I have 2, right? So is it possible that 2 people are going to equal 20? It's possible, but I'm certainly not going to accelerate growth. I mean, it's possible. It's unlikely. It's very unlikely. So it's not that efficiency improvements are impossible. It's that they're the degree of difficulty to get more efficient as you seek to accelerate growth is beyond the scope of most of the companies that we are talking about.